definitely taking things to the next level because we have got a race. DylWingo and Xem are here, gearing up for an incredible all-platinum bolts race of Ratchet and Clank going Commando. But hey, y'all are going to be finding out for yourselves in just a moment because they're almost ready to race and that'll be coming up in just a little bit. In the meantime, though, we have a $25 donation from my favorite host, Cartridge Blowers. Hey again to my favorite host, iggyzig. Thank you for teaching me what a bandicoot is. I was honestly really confused. Follow-up question. What's a lombax? Are we really doing this bit again? Are we? Seriously? Lombax is a recurring species in the Ratchet and Clank series and the species of the main protagonist from Ratchet. It is a humanoid, feline-like species from renowned engineers hailing from the planet Festoon in the Polaris Galaxy. And with that, let me send y'all out to this race where Zemipu and Dill are going to be going head-to-head in an all-platinum bolts run of Ratchet and Clank going Commando.
My goodness, that was such a thorough explanation of lombaxes in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, hello everybody. It's great to be here. I'm Xem.
I'm DylWingo.
And today we're going to be racing my personal favorite category in the Ratchet series, at least at this moment, all platinum bolts. With us today, we have two wonderful commentators. We have Scottobozo and we have Torpedo.
Hello.
Howdy.
So the first one was Scott, second one was Torpedo. And they're going to be doing, I would say, probably the majority of the heavy lifting as far as commentary goes. They both know tons about the game, and we have to focus. So I'm pretty much good to go whenever you are, Dill.
Yeah, I'm pretty much ready as well.
Okay, so the way this is going to work for whoever is controlling the timer, I'm about to do a countdown, but then we're going to have to do another countdown after that because we normally start the timer at like a very specific spot, but we both need to make sure that we start at the exact same time. So my first countdown won't count towards the timer, but then Dill's countdown will count towards the timer. And he'll be counting down from 4. Mm-hmm. So are you ready, Sir Dill?
I am ready.
All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, good luck, man.
Good luck. So the countdown that Dill's about to do will be happening in a couple loading transition screens here, so take it away, Dill.
All right, so real countdown begins in 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, and welcome everyone to Ratchet and Clank Going Commando. In this run, it's one of the original PlayStation 2 games in the Ratchet and Clank series. And if you're familiar with the other PS2 games, you might know that we tend to play the HD re-releases on the PS3 for most of them because they load a lot faster. But in this game specifically, we tend to lean towards the PS2 release because there are some glitches that are patched out in the PS3 version, which we will be getting into a bit later. For now, this is just Aranos. We're playing as Ratchet. We don't have Clank yet, so our fastest form of movement is just side flipping through the levels at specific angles with forward momentum. Yeah. And in here we have a quick arena section. Very quick. You can see both runners passed it in like 5 seconds.
Yeah, we don't have Clank right now. He's just kind of vibing in an apartment. Really wasn't cut out for this sort of thing, so hey, it's up to Ratchet to pull all the weight.
Yeah, after saving the galaxy one time, he was like, I think I'm done. And then they just keep
he had his sprockets lubed.
What's that?
He had his sprockets lubed. Have you watched the intro?
Not in a long time.
All right, but for real though, this category, as the name implies, all platinum bolts. There's special collectibles that show up on each level past Aranos, which are the platinum bolts, which normally they're used to purchase weapon upgrades like lock-on mods, extra damage mods, and stuff. This is just a category that has us go out of our way to collect them, and despite how it sounds, the way that some of these bolts will be acquired will blow your mind.
Yeah, and right here you see we're clipping into this mountain. There's an invisible wall in the mountain, but there's a bush right next to it, so we use the bush to clip through the invisible wall, climb the mountain, and it just cuts a huge corner. So here on Uzla, we have like 3 big skips that we do. And the first one was that bush clip through the mountain. The second one is coming up in the second here. We're going to die here intentionally because we hit the continue point. There's normally an unskippable cutscene where the monster, the boss here, pops up. But if we die, then it just skips that cutscene. And then we'll be jumping over to the side. There's normally an invisible wall, but they didn't make it wide enough to actually completely avoid us being able to jump past the boss. So that was the second big skip. And now our third big skip is in this shop here. You're going to be doing some precise side flips to skip dynamo sections and then clip through the shop and hit a continue point, which
You hit it
both
too,
runners
Dylan?
hit on
Yeah.
the first try.
Okay, good.
Alright,
Yeah,
that
that's
was pretty
a
banger.
big scare point. It,
20 seconds.
It's not that bad. Yeah, it's like 20 seconds if you miss it, but like to go on and do a marathon run and then have that be the first thing you mess up would be really demoralizing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so both runners are pretty much neck and neck here going into the first ship level. And these ship levels can be pretty annoying. They seem kind of random because you have to sort of predict where the ships are going. So there's 20 ships in each wave. There's going to be 2 waves. And of course the goal is just to kill all of the ships as quickly as possible. And they're going to be using the radar on the bottom right hand side of the screen. There's a bunch of red dots which obviously show you where the ships are in relation. But one thing you might not know is that the bigger dots mean that the ships are above you, and the smaller dots mean that the ships are below you.
The other thing is too is they're gonna keep an eye on the raritanium count, because like the platinum bolts, the raritanium are also used for upgrades, but specifically for your ship. There does exist a glitch in this version, which is another reason why that we run on PS2, in that we're able to buy any ship upgrade later on for 5 raritanium. So we just need, I think the amount's 15 to get exactly what we need for the run. And this is going to be where a huge source of our raritanium comes from.
At minimum, we need
Yeah.
10 because we need to get the lasers and the nuke. But maximum, we can have at least 20 because it can get us the triple boost acceleration and then the missile locking.
Yeah, we'll explain
the
more about
fast
that
missile
later.
lock on.
Yeah.
But yeah, essentially all you need to know is that as far as raritanium goes, we're kind of looking for anything above 15 or 15 or more, and we were really happy if we get 20 or more.
Yeah, and it looks like DylWingo has taken a bit of a lead here on Whoopash.
Yeah, I had a really unfortunate spat of luck with Whoopash. We call Whoopash pseudo RNG because it's like, you know, if you play really, really well, it doesn't necessarily matter what luck you get, but the luck still plays a factor. So, unfortunately, I had a bit of a dicey position with all the things in my Whoopash. But yeah.
Yeah, so now on Maktar, this is where we're really going to start thinking about the money and the experience. Because in this game, they introduced experience, which you can use to upgrade your health and to upgrade your weapons. And so they're going to be using the Lancer to kill a lot of enemies on this path.
We also get our first platinum bolt here.
Yep, that's our first platinum bolt from DylWingo. Zem's coming up on it in just a couple seconds.
Yeah, I did want to take a second to correct someone in chat because I do have the chat open. I haven't uploaded my PB yet, but my PB is actually 108.37, not 109.33. I just haven't submitted it to the leaderboards because I'm scum.
Oh yeah, and one thing to note about the times is that there are variable loading times. So we always time it as if you got the fastest loading times. And so that can be a small factor in the race, but usually it evens out for the most part.
I don't see that being a huge problem in this race. If worst comes to worst, we can always just check the tapes later.
On Dill's screen now, we're actually into the arena. This is very straightforward in that we're just killing a bunch of enemies as they spawn. This is required to get the electrolyzer, and there's really no other way around it. So you're able to manipulate where the enemies spawn based on your line of sight. So in a lot of ways, there's... I forgot you had a health upgrade here.
Yeah, that's the first health upgrade in the run. It can kill enemies and help you, but it usually isn't that big of a factor throughout the run.
By the
So now
way,
that we
I'm sorry, I just wanted to say real quick, shout outs to Torpedo because he is fresh off of an overnight shift and has not slept in 30 hours and is still doing commentary for us today. So I wanted to let you all know that ahead of time so that we could all show Torpedo a little bit of love after he's done and hopefully tell him to just go to bed.
As soon as this run finishes, I'm dipping out of VC just...
You're gonna pass out in like 1 second.
Oh yeah.
So what I was
Also,
going to say is that we got the electrolyzer now. We're going to be doing 7 electrolyzer puzzles throughout the game, and we're doing 5 of them within the next 5 minutes. So most of them are, right around the corner. We had to do 2 here to open the bridges.
all right.
And I think right now would be a decent time for a quick donation.
Oh
Hey,
yeah.
sounds great. We have $250 from Benjamin.
Oh,
So
wow.
shout outs to Xem and DylWingo for running the video game that got me into video games. Thank you so much.
Jeez, thank you so much,
Yeah.
Ben. Jeez.
Thank you, Ben.
Yo.
He's a member of the Ratchet community and such a homie.
Yeah.
Really, really
Yeah,
good
he's a
reviews.
nice up-and-coming deadlocked runner, I believe.
Yes, he is.
That is true.
And so now DylWingo's coming up on Endako. This is the longest planet in the run.
That's
Because
planet.
we have to complete both paths on our first visit. We have to get Clank going to the left, and then after that we have to get the swing shot on the right.
Yeah, Clank kind of got kidnapped and bound up, and well, it's up to us to stop this. I mean, realistically, we actually could skip him, and there is a category that exists that does, but it's just faster to get him anyway. Plus, the game's
Yeah,
called
and-
Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, you'll see. Clank is currently strapped to the cool boys table.
Yeah, so DylWingo's doing crane skip right now. It looks like he got a hyper strike there, which is very unfortunate. He's gonna have to try and manipulate the
have to
fan
reset.
blade enemies.
Ah,
Oh no. He killed all the enemies, so he has to go back,
Yeah.
death abuse, and try again.
Really sucks.
Let's see how Zem fares, though. That's first try. Great job, Zem.
Here's
So, yeah, basically the way that skip works is you jump on top of the enemies, and then it's still able to hit you when you're on top of it, and then after you get hit, you're still on top of its hitbox, and you can wrench swing and double jump out of that.
yo, pizza
So
car?
it's the perfect setup to let you barely ledge grab there instead of, doing another electrolyzer puzzle and moving the box.
Believe me, we here in the Ratchet community are very anti-auto scroller. So if we can spare you from them as much as we can, then we will.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I don't know how many electrolyzers are in the entire game, but
Yeah,
we do as few as possible in this run. 7's like the bare minimum to do everything quickly.
We also skip a full-on second infiltration gadget, so yeah, you're
Yeah.
welcome.
yeah. We actually, I mean, they're not kidding when they say that we hate auto scrollers in this community. There's specific Ratchet games that do have auto scrollers, and people just outright don't run them because of the auto scrollers.
Cries in
Yeah,
future
it looks
gang.
like DylWingo's he took another death there, and now he's trying to get
Yeah.
back without wasting too much time killing
Unfortunate.
enemies. So he's taking a bit of damage. It's going to be a little bit dangerous on 2 health because these bigger enemies, the laser enemies and the gunner enemies, do exactly 2 damage.
Yeah, the rivet guys. This is where I'd make a joke, but I've been up 30 hours. I had a trade spot and I
Platinum bolt
lost it.
number 2 for Zem.
Torpedo has almost no creative juice left in the tank. So right now, we're about to hit the very first Clank section. Clank is on the threshold of an amazing adventure.
Yeah, but first, of course, we have to use the electrolyzer to revive Clank. This is our 5th electrolyzer in the run. Thank goodness we only have 2 more.
Is that
Oh
really
my
all that's
goodness.
left? 2 electrolyzers?
Barlow and
it's
Dabo,
one on
right?
Barlow, one on Dabo.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the Dabo one. Yep.
Scotto
Makes
the
sense.
Mad Lad went and counted it. That's mad respect.
Scotto knows like basically everything about this game. It kind of terrifies me sometimes to hear him talk about all the random knowledge he's accrued.
Coming into the Clank section, well, you're playing as not Ratchet, and you have to deal with these little gadget bots. We're in the Bogon Galaxy, so it's not Gadgetron. Whatever. The little minions, we use them to kill things, and then there's other bots that do certain things, like building bridges.
And
And
we'll see Zem coming up doing a relatively recent edition where we actually use Clank to kill one of the laser bots instead of using the minions, as Torpedo calls them.
I think they're called like microbots or something, but everyone calls them
Yeah.
gadget bots. There's lore.
We should have a mod. Like we should somehow figure out how to mod this game to turn all of the Clank bots into minions. Just like have them, and then turn Clank into Gru. And And that's the only thing that changes with the mod. I think that'd be so funny, personally.
Just grew on Ratchet's back. Oh yeah. There's also like a cheeky little slope abuse you can do here where you can kind of go up the hallway a bit faster as you jump.
Yeah.
Way to go, Clank.
And now that we
You
have
now
Clank, we can use his thruster pack to get a higher double jump, and we also have the ability to glide and to long jump. And now long jumping is going to be our main form of movement, rather than the standard side flips.
An interesting thing to note as well is through long jumps, you can actually chain it into other forms of movement. And through that, you can actually conserve speed with it. Such as having those... I just got called them lag jumps. That's the multiplayer attack.
Yeah, basically, so some of you casuals may be wondering, like, if you've played the game casually, you might be wondering, what's the best pack to use with Clank? And in the speedrun, it depends. So right now we're using the thruster pack because it pretty much instantly gets you up to a good speed. But once we get about halfway through the run, we're going to switch to the helipack, so that, because the helipack it has a higher speed cap pretty much. So if we get a gadget that lets us move faster than the thruster pack, then we can use that to just move faster with the helipack as well.
We also get an item later in the run that synergizes insanely well with the helipack, so it'll get interesting. This category is really fun in the fact that you start from basically nothing and then have like your full kit of movement right at the end.
Yeah, so now you're going to see Zem, he jumped and then swung his wrench after killing that laser bot, and that was to skip the upgrade animation with the Lancer, because it only activates if you're on the ground and holding the weapon. So if you're in the air and then you let go of the weapon, then you'll skip the animation.
All right.
It's not too hard to avoid these, but I do want to point out that I am only on 3 health. So if I get hit here, okay, I don't get hit. Sorry.
Yeah, and then
He also
I had to like
switched.
talk about that for a second to steady my own nerves.
He also switched to the gravity bomb there because what Scotto mentioned earlier about like managing experience points. That's just killing, like getting the finishing hit on Thanos there with the gravity bomb. Pretty much just
Thanos
like
copter.
gives you extra experience for the gravity bomb for later.
Oh, I almost tried to hit my space bar.
He's
Or no,
big.
splits.
He's purple. He has a helicopter.
It's obviously Thanos.
That screams Thanos to me.
Who was talking
so
about this? Was it? I forget who was talking, but it might have even been Dill or somebody. But one of you guys were mentioning how Thanos in the comic books has a helicopter.
That was me.
Oh, that was you. Okay.
I'm pretty sure I linked it in your chat one time. Oh yeah.
I can't believe that.
Back to the thing about conserving speed, you can chain thruster long jumps into heli long jumps, and through that,
so that's what Zen
how we
just
clipped
did
there.
And so he ledge grabbed and then he let go with R1. You know, a little used mechanic usually, but we use it so that we can glide with all of the speed with the long jump. And then we just hyper strike up from underneath, skipping the entire tractor beam section in Maxar.
Oh yeah, Zem, did you get the bolt on the jamming array?
I
Yeah,
did
you
get the
did.
bolt in the jamming array.
All right.
The jamming
Yo.
array for jamers.
I spent 10 well-earned tank bots on Dilla's stream. He got the slingshot swag.
Oh my god. Yeah, that was very unfortunate, the deaths I had on Kandako. The first one was I failed crane skip, and the second one I actually was like really low on ammo, because that's another thing we didn't talk about, ammo RNG with the crates. I got really screwed in Maktar, and I had like really low gravity bomb ammo for the arena, so I had to use a lot more Lancer ammo, and I should have bought more, but I risked it, so oh well.
Oh yeah, these are the kinds of like little decisions you have to be able to make at like it's unfortunate that Dill had that happen, but that is just the nature of this category. Like you can't just like stop and smell the roses whenever you want. You have to be willing to take some risks when the game doesn't give you favorable luck.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you,
now Zem's coming up on another pack switch, which he'll do after turning the bolt crank here.
yeah,
So we'll
pretty
see
much.
if he gets it. This is a reroute that I found like almost well over a year ago at this point.
It's such a cool trick.
Yeah, it really is.
Pretty much though, like they were talking about, where a lot
I'm
of
so
things can
bad.
happen at this.
Oh,
a lot
no.
of things can happen mid-run. This category is definitely one where you got to roll with the punches.
Yep, as Manto said.
So yeah, it
Yeah,
looks
you
like
gotta
Zem
roll.
went for the hyper strike there, and he just barely missed. getting all the way over. So he has to take all of these jump pads to make it.
Yeah, that's okay. It happens. I didn't trust my own muscle memory there. I was like, I'll do it a little bit later. What's the harm? And then the harm was I lose time. Surprise, surprise. Speedrunner makes mistake due to hubris.
Yeah, well, at least it's a good chance to make this race a little bit closer.
That's true, yeah.
And so now we're on the Mactar return. Since we didn't do the tractor beam section, the bridge doesn't show up. So we have to do a really tough double jump to make it back to our ship. And then the checkpoint to get to respawn at your ship is actually really big. So Zem is gonna death abuse.
Oh no, Zem, you died.
Oh no. My run is all broken and on the floor.
Alright, so coming up on Barlow, there's a lot of tribesmen that you fight. You get the Terminator, but like, we're not about any of that. We're just gonna collect some money here, and then that slope abuse thing I mentioned with Clank earlier, we can use it to gain extra height here. We just skipped an entire level.
Skipped the entire level. You know, they just put that elevator there so that we have a convenient way to get back to the ship when we're done with the level. But we're like, hey, that elevator, that's actually a way to go up, even if it's not activated yet.
And then right there, we buy the decoy glove from the woman lady who farts because, well, the decoy glove introduces a fun mechanic.
I keep forgetting we call her the lady who farts.
Oh my god.
So
yeah, the decoy glove is going to be a huge thing throughout this run. It's going to be super useful for clipping through walls as well as some of the movement tech that we get into later. But now we're into the Barlow race for Zem after completing our 6th electrolyzer.
remember the bolt, Zem.
And so
I've forgotten the bolt like one time in 2 months, and I've still never heard the end of it.
But yeah, this race, it's 2 minutes long. It's pretty hard to lose substantial amounts of time to it, so it's a pretty good time for donations right now. We can get 2 or 3 of them.
We have $25 from Sir Gregory II saying, Xem and DylWingo, I wish you both the best of luck during this race. I love your content, and let's kick cancer's butt. Zemi stabs in the chat. Incentive goes to winner's choice. And we also have $30 from Kichi Face saying $1 for every hour Torpedo has been awake. Let's get a donation train going.
Oh no!
It's a
love
great
it.
idea. We are less than 15,000 away from 600K, everybody. So let's get that sleepy donation train. How about it, everybody?
I mean, I'm thankful that someone did that for charity. But now this,
But
like,
now you made them spend more.
I mean, at the end of
Yeah.
the run, it'll be $31, right?
no, it's
We're
already
gonna donate
31.
again?
You heard it, people. $31. Let's go. We have $25 from Pawn saying, first-time donor. Love you, Zem. Good luck to both of you on the run. What's your favorite Ratchet and Clank 2 weapon in a casual playthrough?
Plasma Storm.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are big on the Plasma Storm or the Bouncer. They tend to be the 2 most popular ones.
Yeah, all the bouncer Benjamins in the world.
Bouncer Benjamin.
They disgust me.
I'm more of a Rhino Ryan myself.
I'm trying to think
Well-
what mine. I don't even know what mine is. What's the most fun to use casually?
I was gonna say the hover bomb, but that's only because of speedrun use.
Hover bomb is really sick though. That is definitely a top contender. That oh no, I'm gonna be a Clank Zapper Clark.
I was gonna say Lava Gun Larry.
Lava Gun is my favorite in Ouya because it upgrades to the liquid nitrogen gun. And the meteor gun is actually pretty good in this game too, now that I'm thinking about it. So yeah, probably the lava gun.
You know.
Yeah, so
Did
Zem's
you remember
done
the
with
bolt,
race.
Zem?
You got a 2:16.5, which is not a bad race.
Well, it's kind of bad.
I mean, sort of. I mean, the best time ever is what, a 2:14.9 or something like that.
Oh, I wonder who that's
You know,
by.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I'm sure they're probably like 3rd place on the leaderboard or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw there was this guy named Scottobozo.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah, Scottobozo was Scottobozo's alt account from when he got locked out of his account. What was the story on that again? You had like 2 FA, but your phone wasn't working?
I had like 2 FA and then I lost my phone. So I looked everywhere except the exact couch cushion that it was lost in.
Oh my god.
All right. We're also into the other funny haha ship section, so this would be another good time for some donations.
Excellent. We have $100 from Slipknot Man. It says, hey, my old swing shot and grind boots. Congrats on the PBZM and best of luck to both runners. We also got $10 from Spratty saying, don't choke the run, Zemothy. You got this.
Thanks, Spratty.
And we also have $50 from Rico saying, hey, Dill, give me your shoes.
From Drake and Josh. Thanks, Rico.
Yeah, we still got some time because there's a second wave here, so we can get a couple more.
All right, excellent. Let's see, Marsden sends us $5 and says, so happy to see these two great runners on AGDQ. They both really deserve it. So happy to be part of such a great community. Thank you so much. And we also have $100 from Mick Gwiggles saying, let's go Zem and Dill. Looking forward to a great race. Though I do need to throw my support behind my guy Zem. Zemmy Stabs will be waiting for you at your victory at the end. Calling his shot.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's actually so good. I think I've recognized, well, I don't know about you guys, but I've recognized pretty much every single name being included in these donations. It's so cool to see all the support from the community coming out today.
Yeah.
Speaking of like community things, Dill, did you do the certified gamer ritual?
Which is what?
The hearing the Drake and Josh bit reminded me. Did you wear your Ned shirt?
Oh no, I'm wearing my GDQ
Oh, the
shirt right
Ned's
now.
declassified.
Yeah, no, I'm wearing my GDQ shirt. I should have worn the Neds shirt, but I wanted to wear my runner shirt just because. I mean, there's only one time I'm on AGDQ 2021, but
That's
yeah,
true.
Fair point.
that was a funny day. I actually, for what Tor's referring to, it was like what, a few months ago. I tweeted out, I was like, I'm wearing a Ned's declassified shirt. I got Chipotle. I'm getting world record today, and I got world record in the category for like the first time ever. And then Zem took it
was
back
so
in 2
funny.
days. It was really funny. Zem didn't
Yeah,
want
So
to let me
Zem's
have
now
it.
on no tack, and he was about to do the out of bounds, but I think he took a look at his bolts and decided not to.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. There's a big part of this is bolt management. Oh goodness. Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
my
at
lord,
the end
I
of this
still have
level,
one
he
ammo.
needs to have at least 6,000 bolts to get the coordinates to the next planet. So we're going to take a little bit of a side route for this bolt first, this platinum bolt. And then he's going to death abuse, go back to the start, get a second platinum bolt, which is hidden right behind this building.
Yeah, this is I think most people's favorite plat bolt because it's literally just right there.
And then there's
Tabora
an
Glider is a
interesting
good
out of
one
bounds
too.
that we get to do right afterwards, where you just double jump, you get to use the wall bounce technique, and you just end up on top of the building and able to go out of bounds and skip the little Terminator area down there.
It's one of the few times in this game that the wall jump is actually useful.
Yeah, I mean, there's other ways to skip it, but that wall bounce is just the most convenient way for this run.
All right, quick, Zem, cancel anime.
Oh no, it's sorry, the call came too late.
No.
Yeah, he was already long jumping. There was no way to stop it. Yeah, that's the third platinum bolt in this level. And then he's gonna come up here at the top of the elevator.
Gonna
He's
bonk
gonna
real
get the
quick for the
coordinates
culture.
to Slim Cognito's Ship Shack, which is where we're gonna use our PS2 exclusive glitch to buy all of the ship upgrades we want. But
There's-
before we do that, we also have to get the coordinates to the next planet, which we're gonna do by doing tiptoes. I wasn't sure if Zen was gonna go for it there. Kind of overshot where he has to jump up, but here's tiptoes.
I think he went for the continue point just to be safe.
That's exactly what I did.
Yeah. And so we got tiptoes first try. Basically, if you're holding neutral on the stick and you're mashing X, you can jump on pretty much anything you want. And so we just use that to climb that slope, which just so happens to have, you know, sloping geometry rather than just the rocks that you see.
Yes!
Ooh, nice
Oh,
taxi
very
clip.
nice taxi clip. Very close.
Oh, the taxi was determined to ruin my day there.
By the way, running joke. Let's go to the Shell Shack. They haven't got a talking dog.
Yeah, this is Slim Cognito's Ship Shack, but we always call it the Shell Shack.
Yeah, and basically the way this glitch works, it only works on PS2 versions of the game. But basically, if you have a certain model loaded, it'll buy what the model is rather than what your cursor is actually hovering over. Or it'll take the price of the model, but it will give you the item that you're hovering over.
Whoa,
And now we have
that fish
everyone's
was really
favorite.
close.
Casually, I think this is most people's least favorite platinum bolts in the game.
DylWingo's got a close call here with the fish on no tack.
Yeah, I missed
Honestly,
the
Probably one of the scariest fishes to see casually.
Really good handling that there. Like, I know we've been focusing a lot on Zem, but like, Dill's doing a really good job of keeping up right now.
Yeah, that was a really good backup. If you're right against the wall there, you can just barely avoid the fish.
But that's glitchless strats there for you.
Yeah.
All right, so what Zem did with the ship upgrades, we bought the nuke, the empowered lasers, and I believe it was fast lock missiles.
Yes.
Empowered lasers are going to be much useful later, but the nuke is pretty much a weapon that kind of kills everything in a line of sight. And it just so happens Felton's missions 2 and 3 happen to have enemies that are all in your line of sight when you start. So we kind of just take those two out in about maybe 5 seconds combined. And coming up here, we're playing a little bit of Superman 64 because if we do this perfectly, we get a platinum bolt. And, well, we got to collect all platinum bolts. Nice.
Yep, that's a 104, which is not bad.
Yeah, I'll
Especially
take that.
considering you didn't have the triple boost.
Yeah. So unfortunately, remember how I was saying that 20 is like the perfect amount of raritanium? I got 19. So I had to skip buying the triple boost accelerator upgrade, which would have been really, really useful.
Yeah, the game always has to be a tease like that.
True.
Like, you gotta have 19 or 14. It's never gonna be on the 5, it's always gonna be on the 4s or 9s.
Oh,
yeah,
the game tried to kill me right there. Sorry, that's
Neat
why I was
little
like shaking my
SIs
head.
there. That's like a little microcosm of what SIs are, is where on specific surfaces that you normally can't stand on, if you can actually get a bit of a high jump out of it. It's like a subtle little one there, but we use that mechanic later to our advantage to skip entire sections of certain levels.
I actually,
Yeah, and
I want to say real quick, I got a really fortunate ammo drop at the beginning of this planet because I needed ammo for the Lancer to break these boxes. And it saves me a bit of bolts that I managed to get the exact right one that I needed.
Yo, Dill pulled the faster race. Let's go.
Yeah, it was a 103.
I
It
was-
was alright.
Yeah, so now we're coming up on the train section, and the train section is notoriously buggy. And so we're gonna try and avoid some of the bugs that can happen, like grabbing the swing shot target that's behind you. We're gonna try and avoid that, and we're also gonna exploit the mechanics. We're gonna grab this swing shot, fly up, and then hyper strike in such a way that it gets us on top of the train car. And so Zem got both of them perfectly there. And basically the entire idea behind this train section is that we're trying to stop the thief here and to, progress the story. And the thief sort of has a few phases to go through, as bosses do in video games. So we have the first couple phases on the train, and then the final phase here is going to be on this little arena section. And because we have the upgraded gravity bomb and Lancer, it's just going to be an absolute breeze. Just shooting the Lancer at her is going to be enough to stun lock and just make the fight a piece of cake.
And then we got Dill come up into the section too. Given the deaths that Dill had at the start of the run, this is actually a very close race.
Yeah, I agree.
So, definitely a really good show from both people so far. We got Zem coming up into Tabora, and I think normally in the story here, it's like they bring the experiment and then Fizzwit kind of just lands on their ship and then accidentally ejects them. So we're in the caves, we need to escape, and then we need to either find a ship or fix our ship. In the meantime, we also get one of the most useless upgrades ever.
Yep.
I think
it's one
that's
of the
my
best
personal
cutscenes
favorite
ever.
cutscene.
Oh yeah, easily one of the best cutscenes. In case of emergency, use wrench to break glass. Or is it? Oh god, I
To
don't
get
remember
rock
the
to break
cutscene.
glass to get wrench.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. It's a logic
it's-
puzzle, and Clank's
you-
happy about it, and Ratchet's just like, yeah, I solved it.
Yeah. Use wrench to break glass to get rock to break. Wait, hold on. No, it's use rock to break wrench to break glass to get wrench to break glass to get rock. That's what it is. There we
Yeah.
go. It was
We
gonna
got
bug
there
me forever.
eventually.
Yeah.
It's more of a tongue twister than a logic puzzle, really. But yeah, now we have to get 10 crystals to break the ship. And so we have a nice little route here. And the end of the route ends up a pretty long distance from the ship. So instead of backtracking, we're actually in a death abuse because the game set our checkpoint right next to our ship.
I think it's
So
that
one
one
thing
and the Scrunch's sister one from Ouya are my two favorites.
Oh my god. I know which one you're talking about too. For
Yeah,
better
so
or
the
worse, that's
runners-
become synonymous with your channel.
Yeah, the runners are going to be looking at their experience here just to make sure. And I think both runners are perfectly fine because DylWingo ended up getting the lower train, so he already has his 8th nanotech.
Yeah, the big issue is here. One of the worst things that can happen to you is if you're already down to 1 health, trying to get killed, and then all of a sudden you get a full health. Because it also just heavily damages enemies around you. So, very good experience management there.
Can I'm gonna ask a quick question for the chat. And I don't know if I'm actually, if I have enough, I have like too much power coursing through my veins right now, so I have to ask this. How many of you in chat are excited for the new Ratchet game coming out this year? I just want like a show of hands. Because I know we in the Ratchet community are really, really excited about it. I just wanted to bring that up real quick.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, so now we're
anyway,
here on
we can go
Dabo,
back
and we're going to do some more.
yeah, we can
we're
go
on
back to
Dabo.
talking about the speed run.
Yeah, we're going to do some more out of bounds here, which is where this planet's where the run really starts to get difficult. You know, there were a few tough tricks before, you know, not to discredit DylWingo, but this is probably one of the harder planets in the run.
Oh yeah.
And so we see Zem got it all perfectly. He got the midair, he got the clip in perfectly, and now he's going to clip into this vent, which is normally how you get the bolt. You normally send the spider bot into this vent. But, you know, we just clip in with Ratchet. We don't need the spider bot yet. And so now we're going to head up to Dabo orbit. And this is where we're going to see giant Clank. You can see him flying up right now in the what are normally ship animations, but now it's giant Clank animations.
And also, Thanos didn't take too kindly to us taking his helicopter down. So, instead, he has a big mech.
Yeah, but
What?
you know, Giant Clank
It's
is
easier than the
basically
copter.
Mario. Giant Clank is basically Mario. All we have to do is just jump on him a bunch of times and eventually he'll die.
Oh yeah,
So I
speaking
think
of
we could
Mario,
fit in one quick donation right now, I think.
Excellent. We have $25 from Planet Ghost. They say, good luck, Zem. Had to donate for my favorite 50-year-old speedrunner.
That's if you Google Zem92 age, Google says I'm 50 years old. Which I think I look pretty good for 50.
Yeah, I think you do too. So now we've taken care of the thug boss, and you know he just goes up in this big explosion. The man himself falls down and he just explodes. But somehow that's not the last we're gonna see of him.
well, he is
Foreshadowing.
inevitable.
Foreshadowing.
And is that a fast load return from Daba orbit? In
And
a
it says
marathon
as
of all
rare as
things?
the great white elk.
All right, so I'm not going to bed immediately after. I'm going to go play the lottery because that never happens.
Yeah, we got
Also-
a few loading screens coming up, so we can fit in one more quick donation.
Speaking of Mario, right quick, we have our only unskippable cutscene in the run.
It's true.
Wait, what?
Remember us?
Oh, remember? Yeah. Sorry, it took me a second. I'm
Yeah,
not on
we
the
got
same
time for
wavelength as you, Torpedo.
one
I
quick one.
apologize. Yeah, we got time. For
I am on no wavelength right now.
All right, Dr. Mellon sends us $50 and says, super excited to see Ratchet and Clank 2 at AGDQ this year. It's one of my favorite games and the main reason I'm a game developer today. Let's destroy cancer.
That's awesome. I think game designing is such a cool industry. I mean, it's a really
now
brutal
we've landed
one.
on Jhobz. We've landed on Jhobz. This is where the run really starts to get crazy. You know, I said Dabo has one of the first difficult tricks. Well, Jhobz here has probably 3 times the number of difficult tricks. But first, we got to do another quick race. It's again, like 2 minutes, just like the first one.
Yeah.
So
one thing I'll say before we go to donations is that something Dylan and I are both going to be very, very cautious of is something called lap glitch on this race. People have theorized why it happens and how it happens, but essentially all you need to know is that sometimes the checkpoints on this race don't work properly, and if you go like a certain direction, you could end up losing an entire lap worth of progress, which means that you essentially have to restart the race. So if you get lap glitch on lap 1, you lose about, what, like 30 seconds? But if every further lap that happens that you get the lap glitch on, it's 45 more seconds. So, for example, if I were to get lap glitch on lap 3, I would lose 2 minutes. So that is something that we're very cautious of going through this. But yeah, you've got time for donations now.
yeah, and
Excellent.
this race is completely optional, actually. But we're doing it because it makes us go fast. We get the charge boots from it, which you'll see what they do.
All right, we have $250 from Ratchet Mania. They say, good luck to Dill and Zem in this race tonight. And I'm so happy to see 2 generations of Ratchet runners in the same run. I can't believe the amount of growth the community has grown, and I can't wait for the future of speedrunning. Less than 3. Thank you so much.
That was a great donation message.
And we also
Top tier
have
stuff, RN.
we also have Marathon Men with $10. They say,
Yo.
2 of the greatest people to ever grace the Ratchet community, and 2 people I am both honored and privileged to call friends. I cannot wait for both of you to show everyone here today just how far this category has come and just how crazy Ratchet and Clank speedruns are. Best of luck to both of you.
Thank you, Marathon Man. Thanks, RM as well.
Yeah.
Really appreciate the donations.
Yeah, thank you. both so
RM raises a very fair point. Dill is, I think, just about hitting a year running this game.
Yeah, it'll be in
Yeah.
like 2 weeks. It'll be like a year.
The stuff that he has done in a year of running this game is absolutely like amazing.
These games are not easy. They're really not. Like,
they're hard.
you know, I remember, I mean, I don't know how many of you guys have gotten these questions in your streams, but I know that for sure I've gotten people who are like, oh, well, what if there's like some person out there who's never streamed before but is better at the games than all of the rest of you? And I can pretty much comfortably say that that's impossible. Like, these games are so ridiculously intense that if you're not connected to the community, keeping up with strategies, learning from all the other people around you, it's really like this is not the kind of game that one can run as like a one-person army.
Yeah, not to cut you off here, but we've got this crazy trick coming up. It's a swing shot proxy. You saw him do a nice fast hover.
Yo,
with
the midair.
The swing shot before.
Oh, nice.
And so now he's gonna do the hover and he's gonna hyper strike. And because there's boxes nearby, the wrench is going to lock onto them. And that, for some reason, just makes Ratchet fly up into the sky.
So pretty much now that we have the charge boots, we're playing a completely different game, which this is gonna look more like the standard fare of Ratchet categories that have been seen at previous GDQs. And with the charge boots, this enables things like mid-air jumps, proxies to scale slopes almost immediately. Slingshot proxies, as you saw, that's a development that got found and labbed in 2020. Like,
Yeah, and just one quick thing to note, a lot of the tricks with the charge boots are version exclusive. You have to be on like the NTSC Black Label or any PAL version on PS2, specifically on PS2.
But yeah, it's something I was gonna say. Right now, I'm backtracking. I just wanted to give people the heads up. I'm backtracking to collect the bolts that I skipped previously because it's faster to do it with the charge boots.
Yeah, there's
but
3 planets here that we backtrack, or actually 4 now that we backtrack because we have the charge boots now.
Yeah, but the one thing I did want to say, just to finish up the previous discussion point, I personally just want to, point out how ridiculous it is that Dill has gotten this good in such a short amount of time. I know that's what you guys were kind of getting at as well, but I wanted to like really drive home the point that Dill, you're kind of sick. I'm not gonna lie.
Thanks, dude. I
You're
appreciate
kind of a
that.
sick runner, man.
I
Yeah, it looks
appreciate
like
that.
Dill didn't quite hit the midair charge, but we have this backup strat which is almost as fast.
Oh, what the heck?
Except
Oh,
that
yeah.
he accidentally bonked there, so
Yeah.
he's gonna have to respawn at the arena checkpoint and then charge down to the levitator.
Yeah, not a big deal.
And that's the thing with this game, with this category, it's so unbelievably punishing. If you're messing up any major spot, you're usually losing at least 20 seconds. That's a big thing with this category is learning how to like do whatever you can to mitigate when mistakes actually happen, but sometimes you're just in situations where you can't do anything.
Yeah, like you're seeing Zem here, he's like breezing through all of these tricks, all of these proxies everywhere. And these are not trivial tricks by any means.
Like
This is all hours of practice paying off to hit all of these proxies in a run. And so now we're heading back to Tabora, which has one of the neatest things that we can do in the game, which is we're going to use the Raritanium car. Which normally you need to have the gravity boots to get to it, but we have the charge boots now. We can pretty much do whatever we want. So we just get it without the gravity boots because we feel like it.
Yeah,
And the reason we take this is because there's a platinum bolt way out in the desert here. And the Raritanium car is not only faster, but it also skips the animation of collecting the bolt.
Plus, it's also really swagged. You
there's a
can't
neat
forget
little
about that.
song that plays too.
What's that?
And
Yeah.
there's a neat little
It has
song
its
that
own
plays
custom
too.
music.
Wait, does it really?
It does
Yeah.
have its own theme song.
What?
And then also when you hurl it off of a cliff, it warps Ratchet down, so it's actually faster to use that to fall into the mud.
I know that sounds ridiculous for me to say that, considering I play this game all the time, but I usually play without any game audio. So I've actually never heard that before.
Yeah. Like I said, we have the charge boots now. We can do whatever we want. Zem just sort of proxied up, charged off the mountain, jumped over to another mountain, charged off of it. Because Insomniac really likes to give collision to everything in the game. So, yeah, we can really do whatever we want.
Bill's also blazing through as well now too.
Yeah, once we get our little booties, we're set and ready to go. It's
Yeah,
actually, it
just
kind of
charged
makes
over.
for... Oh, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. That's my bad.
Yeah, we just charged over to that other platinum bolt, which you normally need the glider for. But, we don't want to take the glider. It basically turns that section of the level into an auto-scroller. And you already know how we feel about those.
Yeah, something I was going to say, I think it's really neat. Like, this category is a very neat category because, and I don't mean neat like cool, I mean neat like tidy as far as the pacing goes. Because the pacing starts out, you don't have any Clank stuff, you don't have any Clank movement, so you're just kind of limited to side flips, and then you get Clanks, so then you get more movement with the packs. And then halfway through the category, you get the charge boots, and then it opens up a whole new world of movement. So it's kind of cool how the difficulty of this category naturally scales up.
Yeah, and it's also nice that, we have other side objectives to keep track of. Like right now, we're on Davo 2 on Zen's side, and he needs 10,000 bolts to get the coordinates to the next planet. And so there's
Ooh, we
just
got
so
enough.
many little things to keep track of that make this an extremely interesting category to watch and play.
It's one of
So
the
yeah, this is our last electrolyzer in the run.
And thank goodness for that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
If this were any percent, we might have another one later on Smolg, but we
Crab
have the charge
emojis.
boots in this category.
Crab emojis for the charge boots being gone. Or did I say the charge was the electrolyzer?
Oh, man.
Speaking is hard.
Torb?
No. All right. Where are you going now, Hrugus?
Yep.
All right, that's just more ship lasering, so it's good donation time.
Yeah.
Excellent. We have $25 from Dan the Enigma. See, Ratchet and Clank has been one of my favorite series as a kid, so seeing Xem and Dyl go nuts with all this crazy movement tech, super satisfying to see. Break a leg, guys. Donation goes towards Wanda Gamelon. Thank you. Let's get an update on that. It is currently nearly at $54,000. Y'all are moving that needle slowly but surely. Let's keep it going and let's see that bonus game met. Thank you so much.
Wait,
By the
the
way-
bonus game is Wand of Gamelon? Oh my
Indeed it
lord.
is.
Oh, man.
By the way, sorry about
Yes.
my dog.
From
Dog's
that
like
reaction, people, you need to see it happen. We've also got $10 from RH221. They say, good luck to both Xem and Dyl. Amazing speedrunners playing an amazing category and an amazing game. Thank you.
Some might even call it an awesome game.
Or perhaps
Done
an
quickly.
awful game.
Oh.
It's going to lead off the awesome block or the awful block if we can get that met. So let's make that happen. It's the only way it can happen. Let's do it. We've also got $15 from Lincolnito saying, hey, Xem and DylWingo, doing my usual donation during Ratchet and Clank, which has clearly become one of the best speed games on PlayStation. Donation goes to winner's choice. Also, Rhino 2 best Rhino.
I agree.
That's good.
I mean, most overpowered, sure.
I've been
Definitely.
too jaded by no IMG to hold the Rhino in the most positive light. But it's good.
All I'm saying is it doesn't play the 1812 Overture, so can't be best Rhino. Sorry.
It doesn't play Night on Bald Mountain either.
Wait, which one plays Night on Bald Mountain?
Nexus.
Oh, I should play that game sometime.
All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Tando time, otherwise known as Tadano. This is one of the craziest planets in the run. We're going to be proxying everywhere.
Yeah, boundaries are kind of just a suggestion in this level.
Yeah. You know, there's all kinds of slopes everywhere. We just proxy using a couple decoys. We just proxy. And we use the decoy here again to clip. Long jump out of the clip. Then right back into another proxy. And then another proxy. He's gonna get the continue point for later. Break some boxes with the charge boots because you can do that. And he's gonna wrench jump all the way over here. There's a little vent. Much like the one on Davo, you're intended to use the spider bot glove for that. But again, we're not gonna use that just yet. So we're gonna get this bolt from just barely out of bounds. Luckily, it's one of the bolts that doesn't have a collecting animation, so it doesn't like warp us into the room or anything.
We also just skipped the Sheepinator, which eagle-eyed viewers from GDQ's past would notice that we used the Sheepinator before for one specific elephant in the room. We're just gonna leave that a surprise for now.
Yeah, there's the third platinum bolt on this level, and now we're just gonna get the coordinates to the next planet and be done with it.
I also want to give a quick shout out to smloader, who found a really hard but really cool strat for this planet, and we don't use it because we're too scared.
Yeah, if he was in the commentary here, he'd probably be roasting you, just like I'm gonna
He
do
would
on
definitely
Smold.
be roasting me. I'm gonna hear that from him later. He's gonna make
You
fun
didn't
of me.
go for the love letter to the big load V2.
Yeah, that's what we called it. Or at least that's what Loader and I call it. Much to the behest of many other people in the community.
All right, we're coming up to Planet Bolden there, and this one has some different like fun trivia, but this isn't the category for it. Instead, we have 3 platinum bolts to collect. It's one of the longest levels casually, and it's another one of those we just say, no smile. We're just gonna do what we want here.
Yeah, so he's gonna proxy off that bush, which just perfectly gives him the height to get over that. Again, normally you'd use the spider bot to hit that button, but we still don't have the spider bot, believe it or not. We'll get it eventually. And now we're gonna clip through the wall, do a wrench jump over here to this elevator, which is like halfway through the level. And there just so happens to be a platinum bolt there for us to get. And so now we're like really far away from our objective, so we're just gonna fall into the bottomless pit. Go
Yeah,
back,
we kind of
proxy
forgot
off the
one.
fence. Jump onto the fountain here. It's not 3 a.m., so Zem isn't gonna go to the Insomniac Museum right now.
I might.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Torb,
that's fun.
your brain is currently like on the fast track to the Insomniac
Yeah.
Yeah,
Museum.
that's
Alright,
the
what were you
third bolt
saying,
in the
Scott?
level. The last one. Normally you'd like see it as you come up to the ending the normal way, but since we clipped through the back of the building, we can get it on our first run through, saving a few minutes at least.
So, what kind of happens there in the story is if you come through the casual way, there's like a giant cutscene trigger where Ratchet and Clank get arrested by who else but Thanos, and we have to come back for that normally. But again, like he was saying, we clip through the back, so we kind of are just outside of the trigger. So we don't have to go back for it at all, and we're happy. Now, coming up on Aranos, this is the Clank section. It's very straightforward. Pretty much more of what we did before, just with a funny clip, and then Clank's a lot more capable of a fighter here.
Yeah, so this Clank section is very straightforward. There's ample time for a donation or two.
All right, sounds great. We have $10 from White Paws saying, awesome race so far. This classic PlayStation block has been super cool to watch. I gotta show my support to my boy DylWingo, one of my greatest friends. Much love, bro.
Thanks, Pause.
And we also have a generous $25 donation from Yo Andy. It says, so great to see the Ratchet community back at GDQ. It is so awesome to watch two of my favorite runners taking part today. Thanks, Torpedo and Scottobozo, for the awesome show. Wait, it's Xem and Dyl running? Ah, never mind.
Oof.
Wow.
Real talk.
All right, we're done with the Clank section now. Let's see what kind of crazy stuff we have to do here. So first, Zem's gonna go into the vendor, who's pretty low on decoys. So now we got to do a wrench jump across here because we don't have the gravity boots.
Yeah, since we don't have the gravity boost, this kind of renders like half the level casually impossible. So, yeah, we're just gonna kind of do our own thing. This lets us
Yeah.
get out of bounds just enough where we can skip parts of the level, but not too far that we clip back in. And with where we're at now, it lets us clip down to a spot where we can use the levitator. You'd think,
Yeah, this is
don't
one
you
of
need
my
Clank to
favorite things
levitate?
my favorite things that I ever found. You know, you think the levitator's an upgrade for Clank, right? But it's actually an upgrade for Ratchet.
This is when the
an
CBD
upgrade for
corn dog
either.
hits.
It's actually an upgrade for either, because I'm pretty sure there exists a clip on Dill's channel where he was messing with practice codes that let him save his position. And even Clank can use the levitator.
Oh,
But he
yeah.
just lays on his back and flies up.
Yeah,
That's really cool. I've never seen that before.
pretty funny.
All right. So since we completely sequence broke the Clank section, we have to reload so we actually have Clank back. Otherwise, we lose him for the entire run.
Yeah, and that was one of the hardest SIs in the game that Zem just did there. You know, normally we think slope intercept, you have to do it on a slope, right? But that one's just straight up and down wall, and somehow we can still do it.
That was
But
looking
it
like
has to be very precise position to do it.
that was looking like an X equals 0 type of slope intercept.
X did equal 0 there. Not my favorite kind of slope intercept, but we'll take it.
Yeah, this is Gorn that we're on Zem's side. There's not a whole lot going on at the beginning. You know, it's just more of the same. We have slightly different enemies.
Yeah, I'd say we've gone over this before.
30 hours without sleep, everyone.
One quick donation here before I explain mission 3.
It sounds
make that.
good.
Oh, my bad.
All right, we have $5 from Perilous Peanut saying, hey, Xem and Dill, good luck on the race. Ratchet and Clank 2 is such a 6-speed run, and I'm glad to see APB on the big stage after how much optimization this category has gotten over the past few years. Cheers.
Thanks, Peter.
Thank you,
Nice, thanks,
Peanut.
Peanut, and good job on your PS4 run.
Yeah,
earlier in the
congratulations.
week.
Very good run.
Definitely.
Yeah, so mission 3 here, you have one big enemy instead of several smaller enemies. And it goes through phases where you can hit it and where you can't hit it. And so you saw Zem there, he killed the entire ship in one phase. So we call that the Gorn 1 cycle.
It is a very annoying trick sometimes. It's again, like we were talking about at the very beginning, a lot of the stuff involving the ship fights is pseudo RNG. And that one is kind of a good example of that. If you do the same thing every time, you'll one cycle that ship most of the time. There's certain spots where you can get a little bit unlucky, and if you don't one cycle, you lose 20 seconds. Or something close to that,
It's like
right?
15. It's like 15 seconds.
15?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, so this is our last ring mission of the game. There's going to be no more Superman 64. There is a bit of a hint to an unfinished level in one of the cutscenes that might have happened before the final level, but that never ended up making it into the game. So
Yo.
this is our last ship level.
I would have been down for a 41 Platinum Bolts run.
Speak for yourself. We're fine with 40 over here. We have enough to worry about. Tell him, Dill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming up on Snivelac, this is a very interesting level that has undergone a lot of change.
Oh yeah.
The biggest thing being the trick that was used for ages. There's a notoriously long fight with Thanos. He didn't like that we kind of just like made child's play of his big mech, so he made a big mech this time.
Yeah.
And
I'm pretty sure everyone remembers this if you played this game casually, because this boss takes an eternity.
like
Yeah.
probably close to 10 minutes, and that's assuming you just power through it. So there existed a strat where we would originally pick up the Sheepinator, because you can spawn the boss's hitbox and stuff before you actually can trigger the fight, and you can sit there, use the Sheepinator on the hitbox, and then upon making the sheep and then hitting making the sheep would put the boss in a state where the next hit killed it.
Yeah.
It instead, developments for this started in NG Plus with the hover bomb gun through Mantodia and Fear's efforts, and Fear got a wild idea one day. It was like, this has some use in any percent categories. And the Lancer, which is like a little pea shooter at this point, ended up being the key. So it ends up being faster by like, I want to say 20 seconds. I don't remember
Like
the
25.
exact.
It's like 25 seconds.
It's like 25 to 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Because you also
what's
get to
hitting
skip
him
the
here
Sheepinator.
is the Lancer is doing some damage, the shield is doing some damage, and the primary source of damage is the boss is shooting himself.
Yeah, the whole crux of this trick is that you land on the bridge, and you're right next to him, and he drops down, but he doesn't break the bridge, so you're just able to stand there in the middle, and he just shoots the blue lasers at himself, and that's most of the damage.
You literally just poke the hitbox of the Lancer, and then from that point, that's where you kind of just pile everything on. All right.
And if
It's
that
coming
wasn't
time.
enough, now we're on Smolg, which has, first this fling pad trick where you normally that green triangle jump pad sends you over to a completely different section of the level, but we can use our charge boot momentum storage to send us wherever we want it to.
Oh yeah, we're kind of just running a tightrope right now. This is definitely what I would consider one of the hardest planets on the run, because
Easily the hardest.
this
Easily.
is already like a very fast-paced looking split, right? There's a cycle you have to catch on top of all that, so you have very little room, because we're using yet another swing shot proxy, and it turns Smolge into one of those levels where it looks easy on paper, but then in practice it's far from it. And definitely when done right, it's gonna look insane, and I think Zem is on pace to get the cycle.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, he's very on pace right now.
I didn't hyperstrike.
And
the
luckily
thing,
he
thank God.
didn't break one of the trains there. When you hyperstrike up like that, there is a chance that you can break one of the trains. And then if you break one of them, it'll break all of the trains behind it. So you would have to get a midair charge if that were to happen. But luckily he hit the entire trick. And so what we've done is we've gotten 1 platinum bolt so far, and now we've gotten the coordinates for both of our next planets, but there's still 1 more platinum bolt that we have to take this levitator path for.
Before, we would have to originally take this part casually up until the platinum bolt and then catch a different cycle. This
Not
just
sure
ended
we're
up
gonna
being
make this.
this just ended up being a ton
I didn't-
faster. And
Oh, that
so
is
stupid.
a tough death.
I think you took a little bit too wide on that one. I would
No,
not
yeah,
know.
I know exactly what went wrong. It was just really unfortunate.
It happens.
Yeah, it does.
Again, Smolge is far from an easy split.
The hardest split in the end game, I definitely think.
Yeah, Zem is trying to do some really risky movement with the decoy where he changes his angle slightly with the decoy throw. And sometimes when you try to do that, it just doesn't go in the right direction that you want it to. And so it can lead to some annoying little missteps that cause you to just barely fall off the edge.
Yeah, this is what we refer to as tap it in time. There's a time for riskiness, and there's a time where you just have to hold the L and just get the thing done. So this is a prime example of just tapping it in.
This is definitely one of those levels where it's like you can see just how free-form the charge boots make this game, in that you're
Well,
taking
now we see DylWingo having a similar issue where just a very slight bad angle is going to cause him to fall off the rail.
That's all it takes on this planet is just one bad angle. I really do. I personally think this is the hardest planet in the entire run by far.
Oh my god.
Because you have to just play so cleanly the entire time. If you make any mistakes, you're probably just gonna lose a ton of time on the planet.
Now, if Smolg wasn't enough, now we're on to Damosel, which is another extremely visually pleasing planet in the run. If you do it correctly.
Yeah, if
So
you do it
we
correctly.
start with the house proxy. And the house proxy is really cool on its own, but then we proxy off of the wall in the background there. And then after that proxy, we get to jump over to a grind rail, which, much like Smolg, you can charge off of it, and that allows us to skip a very large portion of the level. And just get us to where the platinum bolts are a lot sooner. And then conveniently, they have this megacorp pyramid, and you can just sort of clip through it.
Oh, that was actually a very satisfying sync.
Yeah.
We both get
And
a
then,
flat
of
bolt at the
course-
same time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. DylWingo
Nice.
got the one on the Smolg warehouse at the same time. So yeah, we just do some more movement. And conveniently, there's a teleporter here next to the hypnomatic part that we don't need. And so that just takes us straight back to the ship. Now it looks like DylWingo is going
Oh
for
my
the low
gosh.
height proxy, and he didn't quite get it.
It was worth a shot.
Yeah, I don't know why the enemies just weren't in the good spot.
Yeah, so he's gonna have to go back and try again. Let's see if he can get it. I think it's a bit late for the train cycle now. So he's
Yeah, I'll
gonna
have to
need the
just
midair
glide all the
charge.
way.
I just saw somebody in chat, Tadaru, say by this point you're supposed to have armor that reduces like 90% of the damage you take. And that is a pretty important thing to note, is that with what the level 1 armor that we currently have on right now, we will get one shot by anything.
I think as far back as Aranos 2 even.
Yeah, the things on Aranos 2 kill you in one hit. The things in Bolden don't. So yeah, start of Aranos 2, you die to everything in one hit.
Yeah, and there are a couple enemies on Snivlac that have a lot less damage for some reason, but other than that, yeah, pretty much everything one-shots you.
We also finally grabbed the Spiderbot glove, which you might be wondering, there was all these things that used Spiderbot glove before. Why are we grabbing it now? And let's just say it's a hidden gem in the sheer amount of damage it can put out. And frankly, we're about to go fight a final boss, so we need all the help we can get.
Yeah, if you have no idea what the spider bot is for, you're about to be blown away by it. It's so cool.
Yeah, first we have to level it up with these proto pets though. And so we're going to do that in 2 different cycles. Because Mantodia found this out. Very interestingly, if you kill the protopets the first time and then you reload after collecting the coordinates to the final level, then it'll give you a lot more experience.
But yeah,
So I think
it's
now's
oh,
a
sorry, go ahead.
decent
No,
time
no,
for
you go
one
for
more
it.
donation.
All right, we got $50 from Hum saying, "Love you, Zen and Dill. This is definitely the highlight of the event, and I'm so glad to see both of you competing together on the GDQ stage."
Thanks, home.
Yeah, thank you so much, dude.
Yeah,
I think we met Hum in different quadrants of speedrunning, right, Dill?
Yeah, I met him through Spyro and Crash. So I think you met him through Ratchet, right?
Yes, yeah, the brief period that he ran up your arsenal when I met him. Oh, whoa, what the heck?
Yeah, so there you see Zem has upgraded his spider bot, and now you'll get to see just how overpowered it is on Udall, which is the final level with the final boss. But first, we gotta get our 3rd platinum bolt here on this level.
Oh yeah, and dragons are on this level.
Yeah,
Yeah, those
so it's a quick death abuse, much like the one on Tabora, where you go really far out. You have to death abuse to get back to the ship quickly.
All right, coming up is Yeetle, and well, it's also a hard level because like you just imagine in a run setting, you got through smoke, you got through Snivlack poking, you got through a bunch of Damsel stuff. This is definitely probably also a really hard level in context, and you see just how much of this level we're skipping. We skip the entire Hypnomatic gadget. We skip what, like at least 6 combat sections throughout the whole level, and this is probably one of those levels that just kind of shows off just what all you're doing in terms of like just kind of going past.
Yeah, so here, Zem's throwing a bunch of decoys to distract the enemies. They will one-shot all of the decoys, so he has to throw a lot of them. And he does that so that he can safely take a little bit of time to clip in, which he just barely did.
Yeah, my decoy that I was using to clip almost got destroyed right there. I would have been in a really scary spot if that had happened.
Yeah, luckily we do have the Tesla barrier, so there's a little bit of wiggle room if you're caught without any extra decoys. Yeah, now we're using the tractor beam for the first and only time to move that one object on the final level of the game. You know, we got that way back on the Uzla backtrack.
It only
And so
costs
that's the
1,000
last
bolts.
platinum bolt in the game, and we're off to kill the final boss. And fair warning here, there is a lot of flashing lights with the way we use the spider bot, so if
Yeah.
you're sensitive to bright lights like that, I'd suggest looking away for a bit.
All right, real quick, we throw the boss into a stasis where it's constantly trying to spawn protopets, but because it can never reach the amount of protopets that it wants to spawn, it's kind of stuck forever. And we also now have the setup, if you pick up
Oh wait,
the
time
spider
is
bot,
coming up for me. Time is coming up for me. In
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, time.
all right.
Nice, dude. GG, man.
So
Very
what
good
just
run.
what just happened there was if you jump in the air, throw a spider bot, switch to a weapon before the spider bot hits the ground, unpause to pull the weapon out, and then pull it back out, pull the spider bot back out again and throw another, you have 2 active spider bots at once, which will double the speed of the timer, but also lets you again control 2 spider bots. So the most powerful thing you can do is just end up spamming bombs there, and that is worlds faster than what the original strat was, which was using the Sheepinator on the boss in a stasis, which was like 3 minutes. And even YOLO Pet, which was a notoriously risky and inconsistent strat. So that's why we pick up the spider bot, and it's one heck of a use that we use it for.
Yeah, it was absolutely insane. You know, it's a tech that you can kind of do with any weapon. Like, you might have seen the runners with the gravity bomb. They might have shot it and then swung the wrench so that they could refresh the weapon shot cooldown. But the spider bot, we do it specifically with the weapons menu because you can't use the wrench to do that in time.
Let's go, Dill. You
So
got
it
this.
took a little
Finish
bit of
strong, man.
creativity.
Oh my
Sorry.
God. Oh, you're good.
Classic mistake right there. Luckily, he went into an area where he's not going to die instantly.
Oh my God, no! I don't want the spider bot.
Just put on the shield, and you're fine. The enemies will stop shooting pretty
Okay,
soon.
that's really,
Ooh.
that was really weird. I
The
don't know
shield
why I
broke, but he
accidentally
didn't
put
take
the
any damage.
spider-
That's pretty lucky right there.
Yeah.
Sometimes when the shield breaks, you'll take damage, but if the attack just hit the outer hitbox of the shield, then you won't take any damage.
Man, I've seen that mistake before. I saw it this week. Sorry, I made a very similar mistake for you. Yeah, it's the thing with this
So a
movement
very
is
timely nanotech upgrade there.
Yeah, I still gotta upgrade the spider bot. It's only kill all of them with the nanotech blast, so...
Oh no.
Yeah, I'll just have to go backtrack.
I mean, you can kill the other enemies besides the protopets, but
They just take forever,
It's-
yeah.
yeah, it's a lot longer and harder to do efficiently.
Yeah. Unfortunate, but it's fine.
you got
They're
this.
gonna
Dill.
go through this movement again.
Oh my God.
Oh,
I got the side flip the first time and I can't get it the second time. Oh well.
Yeah, this just goes to show just how hard all this movement tech is
Yeah.
to do.
It really is. It's one little missed input, one thing in a time that you didn't mean to hit it by like even 0.1 seconds can mess up an entire speed of this game.
Yeah, it's...
Or even just one little bad angle like we talked about on Smolg. Because, you know, just a very slightly different angle can mean the difference between side flipping and long jumping.
Please.
I think you already got the bolt, correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I didn't. I missed it.
no, he missed
too.
it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my God. Alright, there you go. And then you can upgrade the spider bot pretty easily. If you place a decoy there, it'll actually let them keep them still, and then you can just... Or actually, that wasn't enough. I don't know if there's any...
oh yeah, I was gonna take a
Are there
few
no
enemies
spider bots
there.
left? Okay.
Yeah, I think
well,
they all
this is
despawned actually.
This is, yeah, this is really bad.
You're gonna have to like shoot the
Yeah, I'm
lancer
just-
at them until their
I'm
last
just
bit
gonna
of armor
do this again. I
pops off.
don't want to bother with this. I don't know. That,
Very good, Dill.
that was really dumb, but whatever. Yeah. This is a very unfortunate, but this category is really hard, so... Oh my God.
Yeah, and this all sort of goes back to what I was saying near the beginning. You have to keep track of so many things.
Oh my God.
You have to keep track of the bolts, the XP, and your ammo. So, you know, if you have to keep trying this, you might end up running out of shield ammo.
You got this, Dill. Everyone's rooting for you to end strong here. I don't know if you have
trying.
chat open, but everyone's spamming give please right now. They believe in you.
Yeah, Dill, we got you, man.
Alright, there we go. That should be enough. Okay, there you go. It
There we go.
took long
That's
enough.
the upgrade. Movement to the final boss is very simple here. And then we'll have another seizure warning since he's doing the exact same trick on the final boss. And one thing that's important is in order to set up this little stasis here, you have to blow up the ammo box. Because if you don't, then the protopet will try to take the ammo box and shoot its contents instead of shooting at the protopets.
Yeah, since he is produced by Megacorp, he does have an affinity with weapons and ammunition.
Alright, time. There you go.
Yo, GG's to both of you guys there.
Yeah, great job on the commentary. That was really good.
Yeah, you guys killed it.
Thank
Did a really
you.
Great job.
Yeah.
Thank you
And
guys
Torb-
for having us on.
Torb, now you get to enjoy some well-earned bed rest.
And the worst part is I'm not tired right now.
Oh my god.
Oh no. Oh no no no.
Oh no no no.
But yeah, so Bill, do you have any shout outs that you want to give?
Yeah, shout outs to the Rat community. I mean, I just started running this game this year, last year, in the beginning of last year, and I really love everybody that's part of the community. Shout out to all my speed friends for all the support. Yeah, that's all I got. So, you got anything, Zen?
Yeah, I want to second the big ups to the Ratchet community. It really is a speedrunning community unlike anything I've ever seen, and I'm so thankful that I get to be a part of it every single day. And shout outs to all the people who came out here and supported both of us. You know, it's so great to see so many people that we know giving a lot of love, really rooting us on. So, and obviously thank you, Scott and Tort.
Thank you guys.
Yeah,
Thank you guys for the
all I got.
awesome race.
So, yeah, I think that about does it for us.
Thank you so much, Dill and Zem, for that incredible race. And thank you so much, Scott and Torpedo, for the commentary. Torpedo, please go to sleep in the name of goodness. And I also want to offer my thanks to the Ratchet and Clank community just for coming out and showing that, you know, every community loves their game, but this community is not afraid to show that they love each other. Just the outpouring of support of, you know, everything that I couldn't read was just amazing to see. And yeah, they'll be probably going through it later. The nation's happening. So thank you so much. I got a couple more I want to read. I got $25 from Toi. It says, donating for every game I played this marathon, and I loved the Ratchet and Clank games. Thanks for showing them off and absolutely destroying the game in a race. Cheers to all of those on the screen, on the mics, and behind the scenes. Thanks for all you do to make this event happen. Thank you so much for your generosity. And we have $15 from Marforia, who you heard, was it yesterday during Skyrim? She said, this PlayStation block at AGDQ has been so fun to watch. Very proud of my friend Dill for his hard work with Ratchet and Clank over the past year. Best of luck to both Zem and Dill. You guys are doing amazing. Indeed, they did. Thank you so much, Maphoria. Y'all can hear her on Saturday. She's going to be doing some very epic hosting that day, so check it out. All right, everybody, that's the end of my time in the host seat for this event. But the way I see it, that just means I'll be helping out AGDQ the same way all of you amazing people are going to be helping out there by hanging out in chat, by spreading the word, and of course, by donating to meet incentives and goals and to help keep this by far one of the best GDQs I've had the opportunity to enjoy. Because it just warms my heart beyond what I can ever even manage to say, to see and to know, like truly know that we can always come together as a massive force for good. All right. After a brief word from our sponsors, AGTQ 2021 Online will return. And on the other side, you're going to be hearing the epic voice of Bobby Blackwolf. Show him lots of love, y'all. We'll be right back, everyone. Don't touch that tab.
Hello there. You're watching Awesome Games Done Quick 2021 online, powered by Twitch. My name is Bobby Blackwolf. I'm going to be with you for what Sent called the skill block earlier. Devil May Cry 3 is the next game up. Devil May Cry 3 being run by Waifu. And I'm so excited for this. Waifu is no stranger to GDQ. He's been on the couch for so many runs that we've lost count. We last saw him leaving his AI teammates for dead in Left 4 Dead 2 just last night. But before then, we've actually seen him run DMC3 here at GDQX 2019. So I'm really excited to see what he's going to be bringing tonight. I wanted to let you know that that I also misspoke. It's the style block, but it's also the skill block. Skill, style, we're all here for it here at GDQ. We do have some incentives that we really want to let you know about. The Wand of Gamelon bonus game. We got to get this one, guys. Y'all. So that's one thing that we really want to get to. And let's get it started off. Vitaro donates $25, says, we have a long way to go to get the Wand of Gamelon run unlocked. Can we get a $25 train going? While you're doing that, let's have an interview. Jhobz is going to talk to the amazing runners that just ran Ratchet and Clank. Jhobz, take it away.
Thank you so much. My name is Jhobz, and I am joined by Xem and DylWingo, who just had a great race of Ratchet and Clank Going Commando. How are you both doing? Everybody feeling good?
Yeah, feeling okay.
All right. Yeah.
I thought it was a great race. Both came in well under estimate, which is always awesome to see in a race where tensions are especially high. You know, you're wanting to put on a good show, but you're also wanting to beat your opponent. And of course, for Dill, you absolutely want to beat Xem. So like, I get that. You know, you got to take him down a peg. But no, it was great. Congrats Xem on the win, and congrats Dill on a great showcase. I want to go back through the run just a little bit here, kind of review some stuff and see what was going through your heads as you were in various parts of the run. So early on, Dill, you took an early lead through the Whoopash Nebula, which and picked up enough raritanium as well, because that ends up coming up later. How are you feeling then, just getting a nice little kind of early boost?
It was good. It was really good. And then, of course, the mistakes started happening on Indako. And like Xem was saying, mistakes in this game, in this category in particular, just add up a lot. So like, especially in a marathon setting, when you just make mistake after mistake, it just adds up. And especially at the end with Yeatle, it was just unfortunate. My XP was behind by a little bit, and then I still wasn't able to upgrade them, so I had to death abuse twice. But yeah, it was just, yeah. But overall, I felt fine other than the few mistakes. So.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to give you props because, like you mentioned early on, there was that small issue where you had to climb on the enemy's heads, and they kept causing problems, forcing a couple deaths. But that separated the two of you by around 2 minutes or so, and you maintained that, like, just matching. Because Xem, you were on a great pace throughout most of the run, like not really failing many tricks. But the consistency as well from Dill to keep on pace there was really strong. I was really excited looking for those kind of opportunities for comeback. To both of you, and I'll start with Xem here, what does it look like trying to practice this game to get to that level of consistency with all of these very difficult tricks?
I'm glad you mentioned consistency. I really do think that is the absolute most important part of this whole category. Because an hour and 10 minutes might not seem like a very long category if you're coming out of certain communities or you're used to certain games. But in Ratchet and Clank, there really aren't that many categories that are over an hour. And so the pacing that you have to have when you're tackling this kind of a run is a little bit different. And realistically, I mean, of course, it's always important to go as fast as you possibly can, but it's so much more important to not make any big mistakes. And so a lot of at least what I do in practice is just, you isolate those specific problem spots that you had on any given day. Like maybe yesterday's runs, you messed up one spot in particular. You take that, you lab it a bunch, and then you kind of just have to, see what else the game throws at you. And the only way to figure that out is to just lose run after run after run to just really crazy stuff.
Right. And Dill, for you, as somebody who's much newer to running, Ratchet games in this game in particular for only the last year or so, what's it look like for you? How did you achieve again, a very similar level of consistency. I want to make it very clear to everybody, for 80% plus of this race, you two were just like just keeping the same pace across the whole run. What did that look like for you?
Like this game is a lot different than like, because I'm used to running like Crash, for example. So like I ran Crash 2 for 2 years, and this was my first Ratchet and Clank speedrun as well. And it's just a lot different just because the way the levels are organized compared to Crash, because Crash is very linear, and Ratchet is too, but it's more like split path, and like it kind of each level like wraps around as well. But practicing, it's just repetition. It's getting consistency, practicing specific parts. I'm getting ahead of myself. Specific parts like a few times, and also we have the practice codes, which really help. Shout out to Asaki. Asaki programmed practice codes for us to use through Free McBoot through PS2. So if we didn't have those, I probably wouldn't be where I was today. And I don't know if Zem would have 108 by now. But
it makes a world of difference. Sorry.
Yeah, it's like basically it's save states and infinite ammo on console, and like every time either of us are practicing on stream, people keep asking us if we're playing on emulator. We're like, oh no, this is console. Yeah, and you don't have to do like any modding or anything to get the codes. So that's really nice.
Wow. Yeah, that's great. I mean, for anyone who doesn't know, I have a little bit of Ratchet and Clank speedrunning experience myself, doing Ratchet Clank 3 in the past, which we'll get to. But that did not exist. I didn't know that was a thing. That sounds like something that really can accelerate your rate of improvement in a game as difficult as this one, especially like you both mentioned, this category in particular. What made you want to approach this category as opposed to, New Game Plus, no IMG, or some other category like any percent? Let's start with Dill on this one. Flip it.
So like I don't know. I never really I never really had interest in getting Ratchet and Clank, and then like last year, 2019, I should say, 2 years ago. Like around like September, October, I started watching Manto, and I started watching Zem, and they were doing APB, and I was like, wow, this category looks really sick, and I just started asking them questions, and then I got into the community. Everybody recommended me NG Plus, but I was like, I don't want to run NG Plus. I want to run this category. So then I just started learning things in this category. It just appealed to me better. It just had the perfect balance of like category progression, collecting, and just overall like skill ceiling. So I was really attracted to like the variety of the category mainly. So.
And Zem, I know you've done a bunch of different categories, but what about all Platinum Bolts is fun for you? Or sorry, all did I say all? Or yeah, it is all.
No, yeah, right.
I'm mixing it up with all of them. They're all different, bolt colors.
I love the pace of it. It's unlike any other Ratchet category where a lot of them are difficult most of the time or all of the time, and this one it just ramps up so nicely, and it's like such a wide diversity of tricks you have to learn and get really comfortable with. There's just so many different cool aspects of the run in general. And I think that all Platinum Bolts really utilizes all of what makes Ratchet 2 really special. So that's why I love the category so much.
Yeah, I think also there's a particularly tense moment of just trying to use the charge boots up that one grind rail while you're trying to also meet that one cycle. Like that's moments like that are, I think, big ones where anybody can look at it and just go like, they're probably going to fall off from any slight deviation. I think it's great. Well, we don't have a ton of time for these interviews. I'd love to just dig into the nuts and bolts of what makes Ratchet speedrunning great. But Dill, I wanted to give you a chance to just mention another speed game that I know you have put a ton of time in the past, and ask Zem why he hasn't run Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone yet. I mean, when's that happening? What's great? What's fun about that for you though, Dill? Because I think it's pretty different from some of the other games you run.
Yeah. So Harry Potter, the Philosopher's Sorcerer's Stone. I picked that up in like 2018. It was a game I grew up with. It's a PS1 game. It's really different about that game. It's more trick based. Like there's really no movement tech. You're just walking around, but there's just a lot of tricks. It's a really easy game to pick up. Like I was able to get a really good time in like a few weeks, and then I got world record like soon after, and it's a fun game. It's definitely like really easy to pick up for any newcomers. So Zem, if you wanted to pick up Harry Potter, I'll ship you a copy. I'll buy you one. You can take world record in that if you want to. But yeah, no, I mean it's a lot of fun, and I actually ran that at ESA last year, and I actually got world record during the marathon. That was
wow.
Crazy. Yeah, so it was pretty crazy. But yeah, it's a lot different from what I'm used to with Crash and Ratchet for sure.
So Zem, when you picking it up, what's going on?
Man, there's too much Ratchet to play. I don't know what you want from me. We got Rift Apart coming out soon.
That's
gonna
true.
be awesome.
Yeah,
I can't wait for
true.
that. Are you planning on running that, Dill? Or are you Jhobz as well?
I was going to say, I'm definitely going to pick it up and play it. We'll see how it goes from there. But how excited are both of you for that?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for Rift Apart. I got a PS5 specifically for Rift Apart, so like I'm really happy. I'm gonna be excited when it comes out. I don't think I'll speedrun it, but I'll probably maybe glitch hunts with everybody else because it'll be fun with like a new game, like grinding it with everybody for like the first week, finding exploits, skips, and everything. So
yeah. All right. Well, that's pretty much going to do it for me. I guess Zem, last real quick, because I gave Dill his chance. Why is Ratchet 3 New Game Plus the best speed game of all time? And why should Dill be moving on to that one next from here?
Non-stop aggressive movement all the time. If your hands aren't hurting after an 8-hour session... I don't know. Guaranteed or your money back.
I was like, I don't know how many people can handle an 8-hour session of that game. It's just go, go, go. Still always a fun one. I love getting to watch these Ratchet and Clank runs and even just returning to the games on my own. I really do encourage anybody at home, if you're curious about these games, they are some of the most fun to just learn movement tech in, whether you end up speedrunning the game or not. It will change how you play the games forever and make them even more fun. I recommend it. Dill, Zem, thank you for a fantastic showing at AGDQ 2021. I wish you both the best of luck in your runs in the future.
thank you, Jhobz. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, we're going to get ready for the next run. So everybody, don't go anywhere. We got plenty more AGDQ 2021 right around the corner.
All right. Thank you so much for that interview. Yes, we have Devil May Cry 3 coming up. But first, I see the donation train coming in. And I'm really excited to see this. Frogsword donates $20 saying, Wand of Gamelon needs to be seen. Thanks for all the great runs and another amazing week of raising money to battle cancer. Celine donates $500 saying, first time watching GDQ. Lost my pops a while ago to cancer, so I have a very personal vendetta. Take cancer down a peg for me. So many pegs that it's not a thing anymore. Much love from Germany. And then